Okay, so how are these holding up after about 3 months of use? Now this is something that I think is worth to make a video on because let's be honest, these are fairly cheap. Currently they're about $25 right now on Amazon. Normal price is around about $40, so these are fairly cheap. So how long do they last and how do they feel after long periods of use? That's what we're going to be covering in this video, and hopefully this will help you to decide even further if you should go for these for your own use or not. So let's get straight to what you need to know. First, a little recap of what you need to know about the specs is it does have, of course, 10mm drivers. It has AI functions with the microphones, which my friends aren't the best quality, but they are something at least to use for calls. Not just that, but of course it has some good fast charging with the help of its USB-C charger, which still is a very small charger, but I mean, it's actually pretty quick when it comes to charging these. In fact, it takes about 10 minutes of charge just to get these to run for about 2 hours. Now, I'll definitely say from my own personal experience with charging experiences for this actually can basically charge to 100% in less than an hour, which I think is very useful, especially wanting to have these on the go in a quicker enough time. For example, just a surprise event that you have to go to, and you want to listen to music for that. But now, let's get to my personal experience of how well these actually felt, and basically, in general, how I feel about these earphones. First, let's talk about the audio quality. Now, of course, I'll definitely say, stock mode with no adjustments to the EQ, because there are of course 22 presets with the EQ. You of course have the whole app which you can control more of the audio experience, but I kept these on stock standard just to experience these in raw performance instead of just adjusting some of the things to accommodate for music or obviously entertainment. Now sound quality is still pretty good, I'll definitely say that, and does have a lot of bass for these small little earbuds. But I'll definitely say it can honestly differ in terms of what you're going to be using these for. Because I'll definitely say if you're going to try to use these for gaming, they are not going to be the best for gaming. But for entertainment and music, I'll definitely say is a good recommendation. But what about comfort? And that's the one thing I was kind of worried about when I bought these about 3 months ago, back in December, where I initially did the original review. Now I'll definitely say comfort for these, which took me some time to actually get used to, because let's be honest, I am normally a user that uses headphones and I'm more comfortable with those type of, audio devices. So it took me maybe about a week or two just to get comfortable with the earbuds. But I mean, if you already are someone that uses earbuds and you're just wanting to upgrade to new earbuds, or you're just wanting to try out some cheaper option for, like, example, working out or something like that, these will be perfectly fine for you, because of course you do have 3 different ear tips from small, medium and large. But what about how long do these last? Now, of course, that's something that I think a lot of people want to know, because it is advertised to last up to 30 hours, including the case with basic use. Now, I'll definitely say the longest session I've actually used these, in terms of using them for movies or even watching shows, which I have done a few times with these before. And I'll definitely say I managed to go through a 4-hour session and still pretty good with the battery life, maybe around about 50%. So I'll definitely say about at least 8 hours just without recharging them in the case of actual battery life, which is not bad. You can get maybe an extra 10 or so hours when it comes to using the case, but obviously it depends how often you're going to be using these and how far you're going to be using these for. But now let's go to the touch controls, because yes, these do have touch controls, and I actually forgot to include this with the original review on these earbuds. But I'll definitely say the touch controls, once you get used to them, they are actually very simple. But I'll definitely say they can be a bit finicky when it comes to basically either switching to the next song or just trying to pause a song sometimes. But once you get used to them, they are very useful. But yeah, it's cheap tech. What can I say? It is going to be a bit finicky in some ways. But I'll definitely say, to conclude this video, these are actually still pretty good, a good bang for your buck. And a lot of you guys have been asking me in the previous video about my experience, and I still say it. These are actually pretty good for the price you're paying. And I mean, if you're in South Africa or in the US, which, by the way, these things are always on special, which is insane. So I'll definitely say these are good to go for, especially if you're wanting to get something that is going to be more for working out, because these are of course sweat proof, so you can use them for long gym sessions, which is a very nice thing to have. Otherwise, let me know in the comments below, what are your thoughts on this? Would you actually get this for yourself or not? Especially with me giving you some of the things I've actually experienced so far with these earbuds. But I'll catch you guys in the next video. Be safe as always, and have a great day.